All right, now breaking news coming in after China claimed that it mediated talks between India and Pakistan during Operation Sindoor for the ceasefire. Top government sources have firmly and resolutely rejected this claim. At the same time, top government sources have welcomed the statement from the Chinese foreign minister of rebooting ties in a new atmosphere altogether. So this is the latest that we're getting right now. This after China claimed that it had mediated talks between India and Pakistan during Operation Sindoor for the ceasefire. Top government sources have firmly rejected this claim. However, they have welcomed the statement from the Chinese foreign minister of rebooting ties in a new atmosphere. For more on this, we have Anand Narasimhan live with us. Anand, thank you so much for joining me on the broadcast. Now, of course, where do these sort of claims even come from? We heard what the United States kept reiterating for the longest time. Now the statement from China, but we are seeing that India is still being dignified when it comes to its diplomacy and outreach, and also welcoming in the same breath the call for rebooting ties.
Well, somewhere I think there seems to be an understanding with the Dragon or the PLA and the CCP that there is going to be a certain level of posturing, but it's going to be Indo-China equations that are now going to move forward. So Bharat-China relations moving forward is perhaps the larger takeaway, while Bharat rejects any narrative or any kind of suggestion that's being made. Now, it could also be that China is trying to foster itself compared to America to say that they are the ones who are actually playing the balancing role in the region and the big hegemon in the region, not the Americans. So that's a China-US kind of posturing. Bharat rejects any external involvement during Operation Sindoor or any external pressure from the Bharatiya side. Now, whether the Chinese have pressured the Pakistanis, the Americans have pressured the Pakistanis, that's for the Pakistanis to deal with. And they have openly said that the way Shehbaz Sharif fell at the feet of Donald Trump, and also how they have gone to the Chinese and how the Chinese were actually supporting them. This is all evident there. So the fact is that it's the Pakistanis who went begging and it's the Pakistanis who were prevailed on. Did leaders speak with Bharat? Did they talk to Bharat? That's a possibility. Leaders will call, leaders will check, leaders will inquire. But Bharat has taken its own decisions vis-a-vis Operation Sindoor in Pakistan. But what's critical this time is that the mention is of Bharat-China ties, Indo-China ties and Indo-China-China-India equations is what Mr. Wang Yi speaks about in his year-end speech. He doesn't mention CPEC, doesn't mention Pakistan, doesn't mention this entire blood brotherhood or etc. between China and Pakistan, etc. Those kind of language is not being spoken. This whole aspect of a shift away from Pakistan and perhaps towards normalization of conversation between Bharat and China, and somewhere an understanding between the leadership that these two nations are civilizationally far more intertwined and connected and can be mutually beneficial rather than be mutually mutative or trying to cannibalize each other. That kind of an attitude, seems to be a shift. And maybe 2026 will see far greater cooperation between Bharat and China for the betterment of this region and the mutual benefit of these two countries, while both nations remain wary of each other's posture, and Bharat especially continues to guard its sovereign territories very, very fiercely.
All right, Anand, thank you so much for bringing us the latest on that. So there we have it. While, of course, the state powers continue to battle this narrative and manage this sort of an identity and image crisis, India remains firm and resolute. So that's the latest on this.